All right, another video. First and foremost, welcome back, and thank you for anyone that is taking the time out of their day, out of your day, to listen and or watch this video for any amount of time that you do. I am grateful and truly appreciative for that. Honestly, I only make these videos because I just want to share what's on my soul, what's on my heart, and I feel like I have something to contribute, and I don't think it's mine. I think it's for everyone, and I just want to share. And if one person feels and or is impacted by what I have to say, great. But that's pretty much it, and I am practicing how to hold the selfie stick without it shaking all the time, while also changing hands. So getting better at that. Anyway, today's subject for this video is going to be about recommitment and the value of recommitment, and why I believe it's actually more important than commitment itself. So commitment is obviously very important, yes. Like, we don't get through our lives and or do anything without any form of commitment. Meaning, like, if I wouldn't have a job, I wouldn't have money, I wouldn't have relationships, I wouldn't have anything if I wasn't at some degree or level committed to that already. However, we can take commitment a little bit further, meaning like when we have to actually, when there's goals that we set that we want to achieve. And I say recommitment, in my opinion, has more value than commitment itself, because it's not necessarily the commitment that that one has to practice in order to get good at achieving goals. It's actually the practice of recommitment. And I say this because everything that we do in our life is a habit, meaning whether it is that I wake up in the morning and make my bed or not is a habit. Whether I make my bed, like making my bed in the morning is a habit, and not making my bed in the morning is a habit. So whether we do or don't do something is a habit. It's not like just because I do it, it's a habit. Just because I don't do it, it's also a habit. And that's the same principle for setting and achieving goals, especially for people or someone who isn't used to setting and or achieving goals. It's definitely something that takes recommitment, because it's a habit. It's like, okay, great. So this is something new in my life that I haven't done before, and I'm going to now do it. If I don't have any experience, not necessarily saying that I'm not able to do it and then I'm going to fail. However, the likelihood of me, from this point on today, saying that I'm going to achieve every goal that I say I'm going to do without fail is probably 0%, because I'm a human being. And while yes, I like to be in integrity, I'm not always in integrity. And so that's why that's why I believe that recommitment is valuable, because while yes, I might be setting goals and whatnot, if I'm not achieving them, what am I doing after that? Am I giving up on my goals, or am I recommitting to them? Because the way I'm looking at it is that, okay, if this is a habit, setting goals and achieving them, if that's a habit and that's something I have to get good at, that means chances are I'm probably not good at it right now. So if I'm not good at it right now, something I could probably expect would be I don't complete my goals. I don't follow through all the way. Because if I'm not used to setting and achieving my goals from point A to point B, then chances are, like, I don't have that habit built in where that's just something that I do. So instead of like being hard on myself, and instead of beating myself up and thinking like, okay, I made this commitment, I didn't follow through, now I'm not integrous, now I don't, now I'm not a person that can follow through on my commitments. Instead, what I like to tell myself is that, okay, well, when am I going to recommit, right? How am I going to recommit, and how soon can I recommit? Because in my opinion, it's a matter of resilience. The goals are always going to be goals that are there that I want to set out. However, I know that as long as I'm practicing recommitment, those goals are going to get accomplished. And I'm not saying this as a form of like, well, I'm just practicing recommitment, so, you know, I don't have to do my goals for another 2 years, because as long as I recommit in 2 years, I'll be fine. It has nothing to do with that. And for starters, it really matters, it really depends on whether you, for one, want to commit to that thing or whatever it is. Otherwise, there's no point in practicing recommitment, because if you want something and you're not going to go get it, and you're just going to use the excuse of, well, I'm practicing recommitment, then you probably don't really want it to begin with. So this is really just about the things that we do know we want. And there are a lot of things that we do know we want, but we don't necessarily go and get, because for one, it's probably outside of the context that we live in, called our current life right now. If there's something that I want that's different and probably out, like not what I'm used to, then chances are I'm probably going to feel uncomfortable to some degree. Like if I just got a brand new Tesla tomorrow, I wouldn't feel like I deserve that, because I don't. You know, it's not that I don't and I'm not worthy of it. It's just that it's new. It's not something I'm used to, and I would feel uncomfortable with it because it doesn't fit into the context of what my current life is right now. So where I'm going with all of that is that Knowing that there are big goals in my life that I do want to achieve, and that yes, they are big, and yes, they are scary. Chances are I probably won't follow through with all my commitments. I'm not saying that as that's what's going to happen. It's just chances are, because like I don't have much experience in setting and achieving goals. Like I've only been practicing that for about 1.5 years, and like to be quite honest, out of 25 years of life, I have more experience not doing that than I do have experience doing that. So the chance of me being perfect at it is very slim. So what I like to remind myself is that as long as I'm practicing recommitment, my goals will become achieved. Because if I commit to something and I don't follow through with it, rather than beating myself up and giving up, I can just practice recommitting it, hopping back on the train. Now I'm back to where I was. Now I'm recommitted. It has nothing to do with my past commitment that I didn't follow through. My past commitment that I didn't follow through does not define me. It does not make me anything. It does not mean anything about me. It just simply means that I didn't follow through with that commitment. And now I get the opportunity to recommit to it. And the more I practice recommitting, the better it is. The higher the likelihood my goals are going to get achieved. If I have a goal that I'm attempting to complete in 90 days, and it takes me 5 times to recommit to it within those 90 days, I don't care if it took me 5 times to recommit, because guess what? I recommitted and now I'm finishing the goal. And maybe the next time it'll take me 5 times or 4 times. And then the following time I might have to commit 3 times. And maybe I never stop recommitting, but that's the whole point. I don't have to stop recommitting. As long as I can get really good at recommitting, then I will technically always be committed, because it's not a one or done deal. It's not like I've committed and I can never break this, because if I do, I'm not committed. It has nothing to do with that. And if anything, that is kind of a prison to live in your mind, to think and believe that, okay, well, I said I was going to do okay, let me not go that far, because it could depend on the situation. However, what I'm attempting to say is recommitment is more valuable than just the standard committing, because as long as you're practicing recommitting, you will always practice getting back on the train, getting back on the boat, getting back on your goals until you complete them. Rather than like I committed, I couldn't follow through 1 time or 2 times, and that means something about me, I guess I'll never get that. No, just keep practicing recommitting. Get back on the boat. It has nothing to do with whether you did it the first time or the second time or the third time. It's done is better than perfect, right? So it's a matter of just getting back on the boat and doing it. And each time you practice getting back on the boat, you're building the habit of recommitting. And recommitment is a habit. And you're building the commitment muscle by practicing commitment, because by practicing recommitment. Because by practicing recommitment and recommitting to your initial commitment, you are following through with your initial commitment. So you are practicing commitment. So that's my 2 cents on recommitment and why I think it's more valuable than actual commitment as is. And I just want to make sure that people aren't like blowing this out of proportion. Like, I'm not saying like if you get married that you just like go out and have an affair and then you're like, I'm practicing recommitment, babe. Like, here I am again. Like, that's not what I mean. I hope that's pretty clear, and I hope that it's pretty clear how a recommitment can be applied to your life. So on that note, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch and or listen to whatever it is that I have to say. I'm pretty much just here talking about what's on my mind. There's no script, pretty much just spilling things out of my mouth. That's probably why I'm talking so fast. So I really appreciate anyone who's taking the time seriously to watch this, because this is how I want to contribute, and you watching this is contributing to me in a way that you have no idea. And it just means so much to me, and yeah, I'm very grateful. And if this didn't make an impact for anyone, that's all good. And if for some reason you're still watching this and it didn't make an impact, also all good. I just want to let you know that I'm grateful, and that on this note, I hope that you have a beautiful day.